Shauna Coxsey has climbed the Boss, a Font 8B Plus at Yarncliffe in the Peak District, and in doing so becomes the first woman to climb Font 8B Plus on British soil. This is Shauna's third 8B Plus and her second of this year, having climbed Photophobia Sit in Pedreza just 2 months ago. She climbed her first 8B Plus in 2014, which for the mathematically gifted is 10 years ago, in the form of New Baseline in Switzerland. She then had a bit of a break from rock climbing where she did a few competitions and the Olympics and had a baby and is now back on the form of her life. The Boss received its first ascent from the hands and heels of Shauna's supremely flexible husband, Ned Feely. He was originally shown the line by Ben Bransby in the winter of 2019 before making the first ascent in 2020. Ben himself repeated it just a few weeks ago. At the time, it was touted as being the hardest problem on Gritstone, partially because of the fact it was indeed 8B+, thus pretty difficult, but also because it's a Ned Feely 8B+. Because you've got to remember that this is the man who has flashed 8B+, and then when an 8B+ project comes along that's taken him several months to climb, is also 8B+. It makes you question the grade, but the grade has stuck.
Hey!
In an interview with UKC, Shauna had this to say: "It's been on the list ever since Ned did the first ascent. It's such a gem. The climbing is steep and powerful with some bad holds. It feels improbable at first. The last move is a huge blind slap overhead from a horizontal position. It's totally committing and a bit spooky. I tried the end a little a few weeks back, then I tried it again a few days ago when I dropped the last move, which felt like a kind of rite of passage. I knew I wanted to get back as soon as the conditions looked good, and today they couldn't have felt better for me. The last move was the crux for me. It was so far and the toe hook was tricky to learn." When asked about how it compared to her recent ascents, she had suggested it was much harder than Fat Lip at Raventor, the 8B she repeated just a few weeks ago. Something that we commented on back when she repeated Fat Lip in what sounded to be pretty much a session. It's taken her very little time to repeat the Boss, and the speed in which she's climbing these problems at 8B and 8B+ is incredible. It is a shame that there's actually not much in the way of Font 8Cs on Gritstone for her to get stuck into. But as it's getting warmer, the limestone season is nearly upon us, and if you're not into the limestone, you've also got the mountains. The Boss was named after Gritstone master John Allen, who sadly passed away before the first ascent was made. John was a visionary climber, putting up many Gritstone classics, both in terms of routes and most notably perhaps highball boulder problems, with West Side Story being one of his most celebrated. The problem is unusual for Gritstone climbing insofar as it's extremely sustained. Ned described it as squeezy. It involves hands, heels and toe hooks, all of the techniques required. And it's got a big move to finish that's made all the more alarming by the drop that is just beside and behind you at the time. You would not want to fall off in a weird way.
Oh bloody hell, we found the crux.
I've been saying in recent videos that it's an exciting time for British bouldering, in the men's side of things particularly, with the likes of Will Bosey and Aidan Roberts performing at the top level. In the same respect, it's similarly inspiring seeing Shauna come back to form. She is, without doubt, our most decorated competition climber. She won the Bouldering World Cup outright in 2016 and 2017. She reached the Olympics, and it feels like now she's got a new lease of life, dedicating all of her time and attention to rock. And if she's rattling through the 8Bs and 8B+ at the rate of knots she is, 8C cannot be far away. And there's still the remaining question of Hubble and French 9A for her as well. Next up, Berghaus are giving away one of their top-end waterproof jackets in the form of the Mountain Guide Alpine Pro. This is a 3-layer waterproof jacket designed for the worst weather, whether you be in the Alps, the UK, or Scotland, which kind of does have the worst weather on planet Earth, I think. If you'd like the opportunity to win this jacket, first of all, you have to be based in the UK. Apologies if you're not. Second of all, click on the link, answer what is likely to be a mind-bogglingly simple question, and the chance is yours.